I'm Tiffany Lee, and this is Supernatural Body. It is day 8 without my glasses. In this video, I'm discussing what is happening today, exactly 1 week and 1 day after I've taken off my very heavy-duty glasses. And I had a revelation yesterday. Not a revelation, a miracle in being able to see a street sign clearly. It was just like a flash. I was sitting at the long light. It continued. It came into focus when I figured out how to do it. And then I drove off, and it stayed clear the whole time until I was out of sight. And it felt like it came and went, but I did see clearly. So I was very excited, very heartened. And today I wake up and first thing I think of is I can't see, I need my glasses. Everything's fuzzy, I wear my glasses. And then I remember, oh wait, I'm training my eyes to see perfectly. I don't need my glasses. I've been operating without my glasses. But there's that letdown after a big day, like after a miracle in this case, after a vacation. And yesterday was literally Mother's Day when it happened, and we had a lovely day in addition to this miracle that occurred in my vision. And so there's this letdown that I'm not farther along in this journey, even though I can see 10 times more clearly than I did a week ago. So there's like a mindset thing going where I understand how easy it is to fall off of a program that you're concentrated on, because the emotion can take over. I think of the Jews wandering around in the desert in the same 10 square mile radius, never finding their destination for 40 years. After this miracle of the Red Sea, how frustrating that must be. But I am committed. My glasses are still off all day long. I'm still much calmer without my glasses. And so for that reason, even if I never saw better than this, I am amazed at the biggest benefit in this journey so far has been my well-being, my mental health, my mood, my emotions, my calm. I was working on I put the wheels on my bike this weekend so that we could ride bikes. And I had issues because I couldn't see. I was not facing correctly, and I can't see. And I realized that for all this time that I've been wearing my glasses, I would have the same issues. And I can't see because I'm blind, because I have my glasses, and I can't see enough, so I squint and look closer. But with the glasses on, there is a panic feeling, this feeling of panic, and it has to do with my eyes, my comfort level being only where my eyes can see, which is a pinpoint. And so I have that under control when I'm looking at that with my glasses on. And when I do not have that, whereas without my glasses, I don't have that. I mean, for one, control is out the window to some extent. And I wonder how much control issue has gone along with wearing the glasses. Now and I hesitate to call it control, but my sense of my being or my purpose is much more centered in my entire presence than it is in the pinpoint and where I'm looking at that moment when there's a million other pinpoints and places I could see. Or up here in my head where there's all these thoughts along with all the stimulus from the world around me, from the phone and the news and the layers of society that's all vying for my attention in my head. Without my glasses, it's in my presence. And so I just, instead of getting upset, I took a breath, when I'm down in my presence, as opposed to in my eyes getting frustrated because I can't control the world through my eyes, when I'm in my being, it only takes a minute to stop and say, why is this not working? Because it's much more of a cognitive problem-solving approach as opposed to fixing everything by how I'm looking at it. I don't know if I'm explaining it right. If you get it, please say so in the comments. All right, or if you have questions, always please feel free to comment. Okay, but one thing, and so I continue to be committed to this journey, and one reason I am committed, and besides having great strides, is also I understand the fact that I have been seeing wrong. I've been using my eyes incorrectly. How have I been in particular using my eyes incorrectly is, number one, the glasses. The glasses basically train my eyes not to see. And instead of fixing my eyesight externally, what I'm working on now is fixing my eyesight internally. And how I'm doing that is, number two, what I'm doing wrong, and I think my major problem is, and I can't say this for everyone, in my research it seems that people have different issues that are affecting their eyesight. But in my issues, it's a staring related to daydreaming issue. And so my tendency to stare and just have the eyes in one place and not moving around has weakened my ability to shift between planes of focus. So here is a plane, here's a plane, here's a plane, here's a plane, here's a plane. And so for far-sighted folks, they can see far in the distance, but they can't see near. Me, I'm myopic, so I am nearsighted. I can see near, but the farther it gets away, the harder it is for me to see. And so what I've been working on is training my eyes to shift focus. So shifting between my thumb and the distance, And what I'm finding is that the moments that I'm seeing the clearest are outside. And I think that's sunlight. But it's also, I have so much more distance to see, whether I'm looking at the trees in the far off distance or I'm looking at the clouds in the sky, that's, hundreds of feet at least. So when that's giving me more flexibility in the 6 muscles that surround the eye that pull that focus as if my eyes were a camera lens. And the outside, besides there being more light to see, I'm struck by the fact at how much, we all, including myself, spend time indoors, largely to a degree. So I've been outside, I was outside all weekend long, prefacing that miracle moment of being able to see the street sign ahead of me. And so I feel like it's also where I'm seeing the most clarity at distances that were complete blurs before, is in the trees. As I'm seeing, it's all outside. And then also relating to my presence versus my eyesight, focusing on where is my attention in my presence, where's my attention in my eyesight. I believe part of how I was using my eyes incorrectly was a mindset issue. And so where is my attention? This relates somewhat to what we talked about yesterday in day 7, was what is my vision ahead of me? Well, where is my focus? Is it in the reality, the moment that I'm in at this moment, in this time and space? Or is it in a societal framework, like all the stop signs and all the social directives that are not only in my physical environment and space at this moment, but I feel the expectations of these societal framework on an invisible plane, on a spiritual plane, what's expected of me. And it pulls my focus in different directions because different people are going to have different expectations for me. If I am always focused on where, almost outside of myself, is it in the phone, on this Facebook page? Is it in the email? I have to answer this email. This very distracting reality that I live in, and then I put my glasses on and I have one little tiny little speck I can look at at all times, with all of these vying voices for my attention versus taking off the glasses. And then being in myself, I'm much more centered and present and mindful. So good things. I look forward to speaking with you tomorrow for day 9 and sharing with you what's happening with my vision. One more thing. I spoke yesterday about, and I want to clarify it here because I talked about worshiping Jesus versus healing or whatever I said, and I definitely, I'm not taking that back. It's definitely what I believe, but I wanted to clarify it in that I think what can happen sometimes spiritually, and I'll relate this to healing, is that we can worship a religion as opposed to God. And so if we worship the religion, we worship the precepts in that religion, and we worship all the expectations in the societal framework of that religion, and it becomes this expectation on us that we have to fulfill, and this break in our or this vie for our attention. Whereas listening within, in this communication, the real, true, living God that is directing us in that present in one direction, becomes easy when it's the one voice we're listening to, or He is the one voice we're listening to, as opposed to all of the other voices. And this mind, body, how is body, how are my eyes looking? Mind, what is the mindset doing? Or what vying expectations are pulling my focus? And how does that affect my eyesight? My daydreaming daydreaming literally out of my present circumstances into another place altogether. And then also the spirit, if we're, depending on what is our idol or God, if you want to put it in those terms, those are vying for our attention. But when God is at the center, the focus becomes very direct and easy. And the direction is where we can find the healing. It's the direction to ask the question, wait, if my eyesight continues to get bad at this point, which they were continuing to tell me, I expected my eyesight to get better as I got older and then move into reading glasses, but that was not the case in my situation. My myopia continues to get worse, as I begin to need reading glasses also. So it's literally my eyesight is constricting on both ends. Being directed from within, from a higher power, to ask the question, is this the only way? And following those questions, as opposed to listening to the expectations that keep us in a framework and keep us trapped. I think that is key to healing, because if we're just left to our own devices without the higher power, and it's just the mind and the body, you'll spend a whole lifetime researching a subject before you can ever make a move. You need that direct route. The crooked route becomes straightened by the Creator who can look down and see the path. The quickest way you need to travel from one direction to your destination. I hope this helps you in your vision journey. Please feel free to ask me any questions. I am possibly like you, maybe just a few steps ahead in that I've taken my glasses off. Have you taken your glasses off yet? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next video.